Today we discuss the importance of investing in stable neighborhoods, avoiding areas where crime is high and dollar stores are rampant, and why you should hire Reilly Properties, your go-to Cleveland property management company. All this and more when you listen to the latest episode of the Cleveland Real Estate Investor Podcast.
Okay, everybody. Hey, post-election, it's time to talk real estate and where it fits into your view for the next couple of years. Looking long-term with Trump as our president.
It's funny.
And with
just on
me
that
is
note,
controller of
it's funny.
Brooke
Just
Reilly.
on that
Let me
note,
introduce Brooke Reilly. Go ahead, Brooke.
yeah, I listen to a fantasy football podcast, and the guys come up with nicknames for different quarterbacks if Trump were giving them nicknames. And for Justin Herbert, who's always kind of got like a hurt leg, he calls him Hobbled Herbert. Hobbled Herbert. We're back. He's back.
I know. He's back. I'll tell you one thing. He's got his own, he spawns his own cottage industry on, cable news, both Fox, MSNBC, whatever. Full disclosure, folks, I did not vote for Trump. I am so mad at Joe Biden. It's my head spinning. Joe Biden should have honored his agreement that he was going to be interim president and said, hey, I'm hitting the exits 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he should have done that right after the midterms. And then let the Democrats get their message together and pick maybe a Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer, and all the young, really good governors they had. Instead, they went with Kamala Harris. Got nothing against her, but a California liberal who's quoted as saying she supports the federal government doing transgender surgery in prisons and migrants. I mean, really? You can't make this shit up. So, but hey, people, look at, once again, the Dems have righted the ship on the economy. Now, whether you're Republican or Democrat or an independent, you voted for Trump or whatever, once again, Biden has left his successor with an economy that's doing well. Inflation's going down. Interest rates just went down a quarter today. So how's that spell itself out for investing in properties? And I'm just going to tell you, I think it's a good time to invest in properties. Now, what kind of property you want to invest in? Is it going to be short-term furnished rental on the Airbnb side or long-term one-year rental on another side? And I'm leaning somewhere, if you're a first-time investor, buying a good area. A good area doesn't have to be an overbought area, but not the ghetto. Because the ghettos are only going to get worse. They're not going to get better. There's no federal money coming in to give to the cities to clean up that. So, but I would invest some of my money into a rental property, and then of course have a good property manager. Your thoughts, Brooke?
Yeah, I haven't read in full the Trump economic plan, except just the clips of what he says at these rallies. Now, whether he's saying them just to rile people up or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting just to see how everything shifts come January, February, March. I mean, we're not seeing a ton of houses for sale in Cleveland. I mean, there's some that's not like what it was like. I don't think we'll ever get back to that. But I mean, there's still I'm still seeing some new signs.
Well, look I was talking to a guy, Jeff in Thousand Oaks, California, the other day on Zoom. He's a longtime listener. He's interested in investing in Cleveland. The play is, like I said in an earlier podcast, is to get a house that's in an estate sale. I mean, this is where we can help as a company, because we hear about houses going for sale before they even hit the MLS. A lot of our customers on the contracting side, Reilly Painting and Contracting, 50-year business, 4,000 active customers on our mailing list. They're going to call us and say, hey, Mike, we're getting ready to move. And those are, if you go to Reilly Properties, you're going to see is most of those properties were properties of our customers. Very rarely do we go through the MLS thing. And a lot of times these properties require some fix-up. People sell it as is. They leave the furniture there. Great. We're all good for turning it quickly around into a furnished short-term, mid-term rental. That is where you want to purchase. I also told Jeff, rules of thumb, if you got an area that's got a lot of dollar stores, you don't want to go there. That's a bad sign. Close to Whole Foods, yes. Okay. Close to some coffee shops, yes. But don't go where the dollar stores are. So, what if you were to buy a house, Brooke? Anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you look at what neighborhoods are up and coming. Like I know in Cleveland, like the first neighborhood I thought of, because I think the Browns are moving stadiums. I mean, the area like around like the Brook Park area might be a kind of hot new neighborhood. Like if I had to go back in time, 10, 15 years ago, like Ohio City, Tremont, Lakewood, now those houses are.
Yeah. Tremont, they're at peak. Ohio City, they were at peak. Both of them were at peak like 5 years ago. And then COVID just accelerated. I mean, it just made it crazy. So if you bought there, that's like buying a couple of years ago. If you bought there, that's like buying
Like in Brooklyn.
It's like buying in 08, right before the crash. Not that these are going to crash, but you paid too much. And that's the tricky part. That's another reason why you want to use our company, Reilly Properties. Let me just pitch our company here. I've said this in past podcasts. You want a company that is going to help you analyze where you're going to invest your money. Okay? We charge for that. We charge $150 an hour. And that's money well spent. And we can walk you through where you're looking to buy. We can work with one of our real estate brokers and actually go out and get a property for you at a fair price. We can do the inspection. So we're looking at the furnace, the hot water tank, the roof, the foundation. Are there any leaks there? The condition, the overall condition of it. So we can do the inspection. We can identify the neighborhood you want to invest in. We got to make sure that you're paying the right price for this property and forecast what you're going to need to spend over the next couple of years. I've had Andres, our guy in Beechwood Road, Brooke. He bought a house with, a duplex on a neighborhood which was kind of okay. It was kind of surrounded by a lot of other dumpy rentals. But he had $75,000 put in to this house. He was staggered by all the checks he was writing. He thought he got it for a good price. The numbers worked out, the ROI on it. But he's just blindsided by the costs he had to shell out. And that's what you can avoid if you're working with a company like ours, who is also a contracting company. Your thoughts, Brooke?
Hey, let's stop here. We got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, and we'll be back. If you've been listening to this podcast, then you understand or should understand the pitfalls of investing in Cleveland real estate. Say you're looking for an investment property to rent, and these are the things that could happen and often do. You overpay for a house, and it's in the ghetto. Then you find that it's a money pit with endless surprise repairs. Your hapless property manager, who may be the brother-in-law of the realtor, gets a tenant who after 3 months stops paying the rent. Then the toilet explodes, and you have nobody to repair it because, guess what? The property manager is not answering the phone. Yep, that's the ugly side of the Cleveland real estate market. But we have a solution. Buy one of our properties. It's been inspected. It's been vetted. It's in a rock-solid part of town. It comes with a Gold Star tenant paying top dollar rent, and we manage it. Call us at 216-371-8160 if you're interested.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most successful way for that to work is to use us from the beginning of finding a good house, neighborhood, to working up an estimate for the work, to discuss, all right, how much did you buy it for? How much can you afford to put into it? And then, using us as a consultant slash contractor to deliver the work and give you our expertise on, no, you don't need to drop 15 grand on a kitchen. You can,
Oh yeah.
you can spread that around and, put 5 on the exterior, maybe 5 in the kitchen, 5 in a bathroom. I mean, it's a rental. Like, unless you're looking to like flip the house, you just need those places to be serviceable and, to look nice, not super expensive.
Well, that's a real trick that we've developed over the years, Brooke, is first of all, how are you going to fix this house up? I mean, look, like you said, what kind of kitchen are you going to do? I mean, most people they way overspend. They're putting in new counters when really all you got to do is paint the counters. Sherwin-Williams makes a great product for that. Okay. And the floor, the planks, floor, nice, don't overspend on the cabinets. You can spray them, you can fix them up, wash the windows, some landscaping, maybe paint 2 sides of the house, make sure the gutters are cleaned. These are just all handyman kind of things that you can do to make it rent ready. Okay. Without overspending. What else, Brooke?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all comes down to just looking at your budget and then really assessing what are the high priority rooms and sections to do. I think a lot of people make the mistake of spending too much on certain sections and then neglecting other parts of the house. Maybe they'll hire a contractor that's a lot cheaper because that's what they can afford, and then it ends up costing them more because they have to hire someone else to come in and fix it. We've only seen that 1,000 times.
Or finish it, because they never finished. They walked off.
Yep. I mean, so I think using us, as like a one-stop shop from start to end is, that's the best approach for this to be successful.
I would say probably I've had probably this happen about half a dozen times in the last 2 years where people will call and say, hey, I heard your podcast. I'm going to, use your services. Okay. Money's, the meter's running. Let's talk. And of course they pay up front because I don't know them from Adam. So they pay up front first at $150. But half the calls that I've had, I've told these people, don't buy this house. This is a terrible purchase. And well, my realtor found this house. Yeah, the realtor, they just want to sell you the house. As I've said many times, they're not putting together an investment. They're just trying to unload a house and get their commission and thank you very much, I'm out of here. And then you're stuck with it. So I think right now the market is starting to settle in. We were talking about Trump. I think next year is going to be a good year. following year is going to be a good year too, because interest rates are going to come down, and Trump, we're going to be on a sugar high with those tax cuts. The deficit's going to start exploding, and the economy is going to overheat in a couple of years. Quite frankly, I have a feeling Trump's days are numbered on this planet, because there's been a lot of talk that he's developing dementia, in which case you've got J.D. Vance coming. Hey, I didn't vote for Trump. I thought Vance was an idiot, but I think Vance is more of an opportunistic. I think if he gets in there, it's not going to be as crazy. So midterms 2 years down are going to flip to the Democrats. You're going to get a more divided government. It's going to get a little more settled. So, but I think the economy, thanks to Biden with the infrastructure bill, those things are going to pay off in a couple of years. You're already seeing it. All the road construction going on, the CHIPS Act, the internet in the rural areas. It's just too bad these guys didn't do a better job promoting what they were doing. And Trump and the Republicans they're gonna get a lot of benefit from that. So I think the next couple of years, the economy is going to do very well here. And Cleveland is a good place to invest because of global warming. We're not looking at 110 degrees in Arizona in October. Okay. And next year in Austin, Dallas, Arizona, it's going to be 120 degrees. That's like Mojave Desert time.
Yeah. Come to Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm serious. The winters are getting less severe. We got a lot of water here with the lakes.
And we got a shitty football team.
But we got a good basketball.
We got a good basketball and baseball team, though. But
right. And we got a great quality of life here.
Yeah.
Just go on. I was in Toronto last week with my wife, and I couldn't believe the traffic, the sprawl. Traffic was unbelievable. In Cleveland, there is no traffic problem. You're driving around. Most of the time, you're just driving inside the so-called Beltway. And we don't have much of a Beltway. Right, Brooke?
Right.
We're 10 minutes from downtown, living in Cleveland Heights. We're close to the clinic, university hospitals, and that's where you want to be, because those are the growing industries. So you can get a good, probably looking at, if I'm investing in Cleveland, just, it's going to be 150 to 250 for a 3-bedroom. Probably more closer to 200. But you got a lot of residents, interns, college, professors, grad students. They're going to want to rent there. So, all right. Final thoughts, Brooke, on Cleveland real estate.
No, just, see, I'm just as curious as a lot of people of, how the Trump economic plan will impact all this. So I think you're right, though. I think the first couple of years, you're going to see a definite improvement. It was already in the process of being improved, but you'll definitely see a jolt those first couple of years. So just monitor everything and choose wisely. Yeah,
very choose wisely. And that consulting fee, make us your first call. So Reilly Painting.com. That's REILLY Painting.com. That's our website. You can always flip over to our sister company, Reilly Properties, see our portfolio. So yeah, that's our plug.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cleveland Real Estate Investor Podcast with Mike Reilly. Please add our show or follow us on Spotify, Overcast, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. Leave a like or comment on the video. All engagement is appreciated. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well for video content coming soon. For any Cleveland listeners or Cleveland Browns fans, you can check out our other podcast, Cleveland Browns Anonymous, for our weekly group therapy session. This is also on all the same platforms as the Cleveland Real Estate Investor.